am Artistic Gamer 7 and welcome back to another video here on the channel. From seeing probably the title and stuff like that and also seeing what is on the screen, you probably know what is going to be going on in this video. I'm basically reacting to the trailer, or a little like reveal trailer anyway, for the new Sims 4 pack Star Wars Journey to Batuu, or I don't know how to say it. Now this is not like my first reaction or my first look at this. I actually was watching like the 2-hour live stream of Gamescom. I did see some of the pre-stream as well, like pre-show, whatever you want to talk about it. But I was sort of watching all that because I do like other games and I do play other games, so I was wanting to just in general watch it, not just for the Sims trailer, which is why also I wasn't as like hurry up and get to recording my thoughts and reactions to this trailer, because I did want to actually watch the whole live stream. So yeah, I have the video ready here to play. I am gonna actually go ahead and mute it because of I'm gonna be talking over it. A lot of people have probably already seen this already, but I did at least want to give my thoughts and stuff about it, and we'll watch it. I have it going a little bit slower so that it's playing at a slower speed so we can sort of see things a little bit better as we go on. But I will say, before I even go into whether or not how I feel about the trailer, I do want to say, if someone is really happy and excited about this game pack, don't bash them for it. And also the vice versa, if one person is not excited about this game pack and you are, don't bash them for it. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, as long as you don't start going over the top, being like, oh, you don't like it, then you just need to stop playing, or oh, you like it, why in the world would... Don't start doing that stuff. But but yeah, so I'm in the opinion, like, you know, if you're happy for it, that's good. If you're not happy about it, okay. It's not gonna be for everyone. I feel like this pack even more so than most packs out there. But yeah, so I'm just gonna start playing it and just sort of talking about my thoughts and opinions. I will start with my pros about it, like things that I do like about it. One of them is this world. I think that, like, just on this starting screenshot, it does look really pretty. It looks detailed. I think they are getting better at making the worlds unique and pretty and interesting. Now obviously this has something it's also basing off of, so this one's a little bit different than some of the others, but it does look really nice. It's really pretty. I do go into these trailers a little on the like side of hold off on things, because a lot of times the trailers, like in the past, the trailers had been exciting and looked amazing, and then there were certain parts that once I got my hands on it, I was a little down about it. Eco Lifestyle was slightly different. I think I disliked the trailer more than I ended up liking this, like, not like it, but how I felt about the actual gameplay, because I actually really enjoyed a lot of stuff from Eco Lifestyle. There are some things that really irritate me, like the sharing is caring thing. That was very irritating, but we're not here to talk about that in general. But yeah, so I'm gonna start playing it. It is going slow, so again, does look really pretty, like amazing. Like, I'm gonna actually slow this down even more, but it does look really good. The details look nice. It definitely has that Star Wars, very Star Warsy, very on point with that stuff. I like some of the things that, like, some of the objects I'm seeing. I like a lot of the hairs. I don't use Maxis stuff or Maxis Match when it comes to the hairs. I like the alpha hairs when it comes to objects and clothing. I've mentioned it before, I like a little bit of both, as long as the alpha is not going so realistic it looks jaggedy and pixelated because you're imposing like a picture on top of it or something like that, or it just looks... Not those, but a lot of times I think objects and clothes can sort of mesh just fine. But when it comes to the hairs, I'm not so much for the clay hair, personally. But I do think a lot of the clay hairs are pretty, and for those that like them, you know, that's okay. But yeah, anyway, There's definitely some interesting things going on here. I don't know if all these, like, alien stuff, if they are costumes, are they going to be occults, or what? I will say, when it comes, I am someone who absolutely loves having different occults and things like that. I like having that option. But we already technically have an alien occult that I feel like could have been rounded out a little bit more. Like, yeah, if you want to add some, like, more species onto that, but, and also add something to, like, if you have get to work, you also have an added stuff to those aliens as well, like added abilities and things. That's fine, but at the same time, with these specific aliens, they have very, very specific looks. And I don't really know if I'd want these walking around in my other worlds. Like, I'm someone who wants fairies and, like, elves and other things along those lines. I'd be okay with, like, you know, genies coming back, the imaginary friends or whatever, but having multiple species of aliens that look very specific to another thing, I'm not sure how I'd feel about it, but, and I realized I said I was going to start with the pros first, and I'm just sort of mixing it up, but, you know, anyway. But yeah, so I don't, that I would like to know. That's something that I want to know before I actually fully make a decision on it, if it's costumes or if it's actual aliens. The way that some of them look and the way that some of them move, it almost seems like they would be actual aliens. And do they stay on this world? Or do they actually go to the other worlds? I see pros and cons if it's either way, but there's a lot of questions that I'm sort of wondering about. I think a lot of the details look really nice. A lot of the stuff looks cool. There are a few, like, criticism things that I'm seeing that is interesting and I might could have fun with. But I'll admit, overall, I'm not that excited for this pack. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but that being said, even if I was, I don't think I would still be excited for this pack. To give an example of what I'm sort of meaning, like, there are a lot of big franchises in gaming, in TV shows, and movies that I do like to a certain, like, I really like, or I like, and they could be fun to play around with in games and stuff like that. And one that I will use as, like, a sort of similarity is Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. But if they would have done a Harry Potter theme thing when they brought in Realm of Magic, I would not have been as excited about it. Because, one, I know not everyone is going to be a Harry Potter fan, but I also feel like in this type of game, this is a game that is very strong on creativity and your own imagination, your own thought process, and limiting it to something that already has an existing story to it out there, already has a very specific theme, a very specific feel to it. I wouldn't want that. So I don't want to limit a game that I feel like you're supposed to have endless amounts of creativity on by limiting it to feeling like it has to be that. So I feel like, and like this, I feel like I would have to go, like, full on Star Wars. So that's why I'm saying, like, even if I was a Star Wars fan, I don't think I would personally be excited for it. Again, I'm happy for those that are happy about this, but I personally am not, and this is probably going to be the only pack, stuff, expansion, and game pack that I don't buy, especially right away. If I do buy it, it's going to be when it's on sale. I'm going to start the video over again. But yeah, it's going to be when it's on sale if I do buy this. But it's just, it's not really for me. It seems very, very limiting when it comes to playability and, like, overall feel. I'm afraid of, like, these creatures walking around in my normal worlds. Like, I like having aliens. I wish the aliens that we had from Get to Work did a little bit more, but I like having them, and I like having that as an option. But again, these are very, very, very specific to the Star Wars world. They have a very, very specific look to them, and by the looks of it, like, I'm leaning on more that it may be a costume, because it's all the same colors for the most part, like at least like what looks to be like their skin and flesh and things like that. So I'm more to lean that it may be a costume, but at the same time, if it is a costume, that means random Sims are townies who randomly generate random crap all the time on them are gonna just randomly walking around with some of this stuff on. So I'm a little bit concerned. This is one of the few packs that I would not want to get mixed up with the other packs. I would not want some of the things that are coming through this to go to the other worlds. And I like the little, like, robots following. I know their names are, like, I think one's R2-D2. I forget the names of some of the other ones, but they are neat and cool, but again, it's very, very specific. You'll look at that, no Star Wars. And, you know, they could have done a space theme thing going towards this direction and added a few little notes and, like, little things to celebrate Star Wars, but not gone full-blown Star Wars. I think I would have preferred that. Like, you know, had a little features that that were from Star Wars, but not a whole game pack around it. But it's a thing, so it's happening, and again, I'm happy for those that are excited, but I'm not all that excited. And one thing for me is, I know a lot of people are comparing it to, like, I haven't fully read a lot of things, but I know a lot of people are comparing it to Strangerville, in the sense, this does seem like you're doing some sort of solving or figuring things out, looking around, sneaking around, things like that. So it makes me feel like there is some story aspect to it, and I am perfectly fine with that. Some of my favorite Sims games are more along of having, like, an actual achieved goal, like going somewhere, but those are like console games, like Castaways and Herbs and Sims Busting Out. I loved those games. And I would be perfectly happy if games like that started coming back to the consoles. But for the pack, like for a pack, I don't know, because it's hard to have replayability. I loved Strangerville, but I will say I've never replayed the story. I'm glad they give you the option to start the story back over in some sort of way with different Sims, and I'm sure they'll do that in this one. I would hope so. Otherwise, it would really, really limit it. But the thing is, with Strangerville versus this one, I can use the world for just regular gameplay as well. Like, just a world for normal Sims to live in. But I don't know if I would ever use this world in the way that I use Strangerville. I still go visit places like Jungle Adventure and even Outdoor Retreat as, like, places to vacation to, but this does not really look like somewhere you would vacation to. This looks like somewhere where you would go where you have, like, a career or hobby or passion about certain space things and stuff. So yeah, another thing I know a lot of people are saying, and I definitely was one of my very first thoughts, was the fact that I was seeing spaceships, and by the looks of it, they are, like, you are able to ride around them or do something with them, interact with them, and we have nothing like cars at all. Nothing. So it's like, it's like we're getting all these, like, transportations. There is even a transportation thing in Build and Buy, but we don't have cars. There's also a lot of bug fixes that I feel like I would have preferred being fixed before a pack that is very so strongly influenced by a franchise. To me, in some ways, it's fun and it's a different idea in a way, but at the same time, it almost feels more like it's being done for money purposes or pulling people in type purposes. And even like the build and buy, I'm not even very excited about the build and buy because it seems very limiting. I wouldn't want to use it in most of my worlds, except for maybe there's going to be like a few objects. I sort of like that table that the girl with the blue outfit was sitting at. That looked like an interesting table that I would use in regular houses, but a lot of it I don't think I would. At least not enough for me to want to buy it. So I think the strongest point is Create-A-Sim, but I am worried about the alien potential costumes or whatever. The Build and Buy has some interesting parts to it. It's definitely different and unique, but again, the fact it's almost too unique to the point I don't see how I could translate it outside into my other things. And yes, I'm someone who's very strongly advocating some of the fantasy looks, but honestly, some of the stuff that I could see coming with like a fantasy vibe, I could see being more usable than this. Maybe if we had multiple alien worlds other than just the little hidden lot of Sixum and then this, maybe. Maybe I could see more of a point to it if there was more worlds to it. And this being a game pack, I don't imagine the world's going to be huge. I'm imagining it's not going to be something that could be like something that has like a lot space and like things to do. I feel like a lot of these buildings are almost going to be necessary to have for whatever story element that is in this thing. So editing a lot of it, I don't know how realistic that's going to be. So it's just some things that I'm just, I'm a little iffy about it. Again, I feel like it would have come off better if it was a space theme pack with some Star Wars elements, but not a Star Wars pack. I think it would have been more versatile. There would have been more people that would have been interested in it. But there's just too many things that I would have preferred over this, and it's way too specific. I don't see myself enjoying this. Again, like, I don't know if I would use the world too often on its own. If it's just a playable story thing, then not being a world that I'm interested in as much, and on top of that only being a one play around story thing, probably wouldn't get much use out of this. The build and buy being a little bit more of a limiting thing, at least for me. And even, like, the cast, I do like the cast, but again, there's some things that I'm a little worried about when it comes to the aliens, because I don't know how that's going to function. But even if the aliens only stay in that one area, like, if you make a friend while you're visiting this world, and they're only on that world, then that's sort of also annoying. So it's like, yeah. I don't want them I don't want all those things freely walking around in my world, but I also don't want to make friends with a sim and then move back to, like, Willow Creek and never see them again. So it's a hard thing, and I know the Sims team is trying to do different stuff and things, but there are some things that I wish they would address and do first. And in some ways, I feel like this is a way to try to pull more people into the Sims, because Star Wars is such a huge franchise and so many people love Star Wars. But my thing is like, yes, there are a lot of Star Wars lovers out there, and I could definitely see there maybe be some people that actually might even try to look into Sims because of this. But if they do, they're probably only going to get the base game and this. Limited stuff you need to play this pack, and then they probably won't really look at the other packs. At least I could be wrong, but that's how I feel like it's going to be for, like, people who are Star Wars, like, strong Star Wars fans, but never played Sims or never wanted to play Sims. If they come to try to play this, it's only going to be because of the Star Wars aspect, and they're not going to look at any other Sims thing, so it's not really going to draw any other... I don't think it's going to draw that many more Sims players in, like, new Sims players. Again, I could be wrong, but I would definitely like to hear your thoughts down below. I haven't fully looked at... I know there's a blog out there somewhere. I haven't really read it. I haven't looked at too many people's reactions. Like, I haven't looked at them online. I went on Twitter. I definitely know that I thought my opinion was going to be unpopular, but it almost seems like it's leaning to possibly more of the popular opinion. I don't quite know. I'm still trying to read people on this. There are some cool aspects. There are some really nice details. I think the Sims team did well in making the pack. I just don't see this being a very playable pack. I don't see myself enjoying it that much. Not only because I don't know Star Wars and I've never really watched Star Wars or anything to do with it, but also just it feels very limiting. I'm the type of person that if I have never played or watched something, I'm not going to pretend to like it or pretend to know what I'm doing or fake it and enjoy it. So, because I feel like that's just not fair to the ones who actually are true fans. So I'm not gonna play Star Wars and try to understand and like Star Wars just from the Sims point of view. Like, that's just not what I'm going to do personally, but I don't know. Again, this is very, very early on. Look, there might be some things that they show off later, and like when people start getting early access to it and playing the game, maybe there are going to certain things that come to light that's going to make it different, but it's really hard to base it off of a 1 minute and like so many seconds, 1 minute and 40 seconds reveal trailer. It's really hard, and like I said, a lot of times the reveal trailers to me look better than what the game actually comes out as in some cases. But I don't know. I'm very, very, I'll admit, when I first watched it, I was disappointed. I was, like, watching it, and I was watching some of the games that was on there. Some of the games I was interested in, some of them I already knew about, and they didn't really show anything new, or they didn't show much new. So I was really looking forward to the Sims 4 trailer, and I actually haven't been keeping up online as much as some people do, because, like, I want to stay slightly connected with social media, but not so much that it becomes, like, a big focus. I want to focus on more of, like, spending time with friends and family and things like that, so, and, like, just doing things for me and also enjoying recording. I don't want to get stressed out about all that stuff, so I didn't realize a lot of people were actually guessing and hinting at Star Wars based off a lot of stuff, so I wasn't remotely at all prepared for it to be a Star Wars thing. So, when I seen it, I'm not gonna lie, I was very, very disappointed. Like, it was just, I just don't feel like a game like Sims should ever strongly focus on any franchise. Like, it's alright to have little funny things here and there, little hints and whatever, like the little Unravel doll, and, like, there was the little, the child from The Mandalorian, Baby Yoda, that was a Star Wars thing. Like, having those little features, it's perfectly fine. There's nothing, I would be perfectly okay with that. Again, space theme sort of had this idea going on, with a few Star Wars elements, would have been more enjoyable to me, but it being so focused on that, it deters me a bit. And again, even if it was a franchise I like if Spellcasters ended up, instead of Realm of Magic, it would have been like a Hogwarts Harry Potter theme thing, I would have been less likely to get it, even though I love Harry Potter. Just because it's so focused on that, and it doesn't feel like you get that your own creativity and your own feel for the game. Like, your own vision. And I feel like Sims is one of those ones that is more of that. If I wanted to go play a Star Wars game or a Harry Potter focused game, or, like, you know, let's say they put, like, something Legend of Zelda in there, or Pokemon, like, I'll just go play those games. Now, for modders like, I know there's a mod out there that's like a Harry Potter thing, that's fine, but I feel like the Sims team themselves making the pack to the point you have to buy it and stuff like that shouldn't. I don't think they should be focused. Modders usually do stuff like that for free, or, like, you know, they accept some small donations, and that's more of, like, a thing they're passionate about and they want to do. And for people who want that, they can add it, but full game pack focusing about it, just to me, it seems off and iffy almost. Like, I don't know. It's just, Again, I probably will not be buying this day one, so unless somehow it goes on sale very early on, or is given out in some sort of way to me, which I don't really want, so... and it's not going to be something that I actually request as a gift. It literally comes out the day after my birthday, but I'm still not going to ask for it, so chances are that won't be something that happens. But, like, if it was to go on sale, I would consider getting it, but I don't know. By the time it goes on sale, I'll probably get to see gameplay of it and actually decide more to see how this actually... see all the build and buy options, see all the cast options, see how it really works, see how it affects the other worlds. Those are some of the big key features that is going to really matter to me and make me decide, so I'm definitely going to be waiting until I see more gameplay and more, and just, I don't have the urge to buy it. But anyway, I am glad for those of you who are excited about this pack. Let me know down in the comments below what are some of the things that you are excited for. Is it just because it's Star Wars, or is there some other things? And let me know if you don't really like it. Do you agree with some of the reasons why I don't? Is there something else going on? Is it just simply because it is Star Wars you don't like it? I have nothing wrong with Star Wars. I'm happy for those of y'all that are excited. I'm not as excited, but the Sims team was going out sort of on a limb here, and you know they can do whatever they want. It's their game and stuff. I'm totally fine with that. I think they still did a great job on the overall look. Everything looks great and amazing. Yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hit that lovely like button if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!